Something is pretending to be me. When I was around 12 or 13, I was home alone, cooking downstairs for my brother, who was 9 at the time. Since my parents were at work, suddenly I heard my brother coming downstairs, so I went over to let him know lunch was ready. He looked confused and asked me how I came downstairs so fast. I told him I'd been downstairs cooking the entire time, which made him even more confused. He told me he went inside my room and saw me inside my closet. I just got goosebumps. And when he tried to talk to me, I ran away. I got a little spooked, but paid no mind to it, thinking my brother was just playing tricks. I'd also like to add that on top of my closet is the trap door to the attic, which I've never been to. Fast forward 4 years, I was FaceTiming my friend while picking an outfit for school. I needed to get my laundry downstairs, so I left my phone in my closet. And I told her I'd be right back. As I was coming back upstairs, I could hear my friend having a conversation with someone, then repeating my name over and over again. I asked her who she was talking to, but she was confused and said I was talking to you the entire time. I told her that wasn't possible because I was downstairs, but she insisted it was my voice. I've never seen this thing that's trying to impersonate me, but I do admit I often feel like I'm being watched when my closet is open. I have no idea what the heck this is, so I was wondering if anyone has an idea what this could be. Someone said, bro, that's actually terrifying, especially the FaceTime incident, because your friend literally heard it talking as you. I literally have goosebumps. Where did the other you go when it ran off from your brother? You have a mimic. They could impersonate anyone in the house. What? That's called a mimic, a type of entity that mimics those around it. They are generally harmless, but they are very curious of humans. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. My dad has been having some paranormal experiences in my childhood home that seem to be getting more intense. There have always been blood spots that would show up in the bathroom, but my dad recently told me that the blood spots have gotten bigger and look like splatters on the toilet and sink. He even told me he got scratched on his ankle in the shower one day, which never happened before. I knew since I was a kid that house is haunted. My parents told me it's all in my head. Now my dad is believing me more. I stayed with him 3 years ago and had even worse sleep paralysis attacks than I did when I was a kid. Something even kicked my bed, and I had to leave because it was messing with my mental health. I've always been sensitive to paranormal and can sense energy in buildings. I added a picture of my childhood home to see what feelings y'all are getting about it. I always knew something else besides my family was there. The feeling is worse in the back bedrooms and bathroom. I used to sneak into the living room at night as a kid because I couldn't sleep in the bedroom that was in the back. The living room was the safest spot in the house. First thing I would do is look up the past owners of the house. My first thought is what has changed in the past few years? Something would have happened in the house that would have made the activity increase, or something happened with your dad to have made him more sensitive to activity. In my opinion, it feels like the ghost still thinks of the house as its and no one else's. It feels somewhat like it thinks it's protecting the home. And most people are just commenting on the photo saying that it just feels like an off, eerie feeling. What do you guys feel? I don't have that power, so I can't feel anything when I see the photo. It just looks like a home to me. Very strange encounter when I was a kid. Hello, guys. I have just found the subreddit, and I've been sitting on this story for a lot of years now, and still, I remember it clear as day. It has been around 2007 or 2008 in Berlin, Germany. My brother, about 8 or 9 at the time, and me, about 5 or 6 at the time, used to do sleepovers in each other's rooms. This time, I took my mattress to his room and placed it next to his bed, and we did our sleepover. We played Nintendo, told each other jokes and stupid stories. And then, in the middle of the night, I'd say anywhere between 12 and 2 a.m., I looked into our hallway in front of the kitchen. I saw a blonde woman in a red dress. It was a sparkly dress. I asked my brother, "Are you seeing this too?" He leaned over, looked at it for a brief while, and said, "Yes." We kept looking. A man in a suit joined, stepped out of the kitchen, and handed her a wine glass. Now, the odd part is, that they had no facial features. Their skin and faces were just black voids. The odd thing is, I don't recall being scared. I was very interested at their presence. They didn't acknowledge us at all. I even suggested to my brother that I should touch them and see what happens. He said, no. What if your hand rots off? We kept talking to each other, but no sound was audible. Eventually, my brother and I decided to go to sleep because nothing was happening and we were not scared at all, which, this strikes me as quite strange. Why wouldn't two kids be scared of an encounter like this? Two faceless black void creatures casually standing in their hallway? Very, very odd. Has anyone else encountered something like this before or knows anything about it? I wouldn't say it was shadow people. The encounter was too coherent and calm for that. Someone said, dude, the fact that you weren't scared is the creepiest part to me. Like, usually when kids see something that weird, they'd be obviously terrified. But you guys were just casually watching and even consider touching them. That, what if it rots off your hand comment from your brother, though? At least he had some survival instincts. Someone else said, so that's a really interesting story. It's just so different from all the other encounters I've had or heard of. I also think it's interesting that they both saw them. It'd be different if it was like one person saw them, but they both saw them. I think that's really interesting. My 8-year-old daughter talks to ghosts. My 8-year-old daughter insists that she sees ghosts. She will go into detail about what they look like and sometimes even how they died. She sees them in the random places we go, but my main concern is the one she sees in our home. Recently, she has been getting very annoyed with him and will argue with this ghost at bedtime, telling him to quit talking, that she can't hear her TV, or that she's trying to sleep. She will sometimes yell, "Get out of my room," or "Shut up." When I ask what he's saying to her, she states he just talks about stupid stuff all the time, or he just gets on my nerves. Does anyone have any advice to block out the ghost from talking to her while she tries to sleep? Someone said, can you ask her to explain what he looks like? Maybe draw a picture? What does the ghost say? Give her candy or soda if she can tell. She said, he is a tall man with blonde hair and a green jacket. Mostly, he tells her about his family and how much he misses his wife and son. It's sad. And he apparently doesn't like her choice of TV shows. And from what she says, I believe he died of a heart attack. He said that he had a bad pain in his chest, so he went to sleep and didn't wake up. Someone else said, can you find a psychic medium in the area? And she said, yes, definitely. Someone said, not to dismiss her, but kids do have crazy, vivid imaginations. It can feel super real. I focus on making her feel safe at night. And the original poster said, I have seen the tall man in the bathroom mirror at night. And we definitely have unexplainable things happen in our home. So I do believe her. Oh my gosh, I just got more goosebumps. These are actually a little creepier than I expected to be. Weird interaction with a customer yesterday. So I had a customer ask me yesterday if I had ever had anything paranormal happen to me before, and I said no, not really, but that I do believe that stuff. Like, I've literally watched and listened to it all over the years, and it all interests me, but nothing has ever happened to me personally. Well, she proceeded to tell me that she wasn't trying to scare me, but wanted to let me know that she had seen something she had never seen before standing behind me through the reflection in a big mirror we have at my job. She said it was just for a second, but it was tall, black hooded figure with a very pale white face and a big evil grin, that it was standing behind me and I was standing at a computer working. Like, what the heck? It really creeped me out, obviously, and I don't remember feeling anything or seeing anything myself. She emphasized on having never seen an entity like that before. I asked, does she see this stuff normally? She said yes, all the time, but never this particular thing. So that's why she wanted to let me know about it, as if she said she normally wouldn't just go up to a stranger and tell them something like this. Oh my goodness. Her and the lady she was with were super nice, normal seeming people. She told me if I had any mirrors in my room to get rid of them, say some prayers, and consider getting a cleanse of some sort. I don't know what to think. I tend to be a very trusting person and sometimes kind of gullible, I've been told. So I'm just wanting some feedback on this. Have any of you had anything like this before? Or has anyone ever heard of anything about this particular entity? I already tried Googling it and couldn't find anything. Closest hit I got was a hat man, which was definitely not what she described. Do people make stuff up like this to scare people? I know that's a possibility, but she seemed genuine, and I can't think of any reason why she would do that to a complete stranger. Thanks in advance for that feedback. I do have a mirror in my room, so it's like kind of freaking me out. I've been on this sub for years, and I have read of this cloaked black entities before, similar sounding description. I personally think the lady was just trying to help you. Because no one really knows, I would remove the mirrors from my bed and sage myself in the house. What could it hurt? I agree with that. Like, I'm about to move my mirror. You may just have a spirit following you, maybe somewhere you went and it just attached to you. I've had this happen to me a few times. Just say a prayer of protection and tell it it's not welcome in your home or around you. Oh, that's scary.